What up, people? It's your boy Ryan over here. Welcome to Half Time. This is a new segment of my show where I'm basically going to be chatting about all the stories from around Europe and what's being reported in the papers. So this is basically a little segment of my normal podcast show. This is not going to be on the podcast. This is strictly for YouTube. So don't bother trying to listen to the audio anywhere else. This is where you can find Halftime. It's going to be on YouTube only, and it's just going to be a segment of my show chatting for a brief 10 to 15 minutes around all the stories from around Europe about the Premier League and just the football around happening there. So hope you guys are all good. Hope you guys are all great. Hope everybody's just looking after themselves. Hope you guys are all safe. I hope my microphone's pretty good. I hope you guys can all hear me clearly. Anyway, let's just get into it. So I'm pretty good right now. I'm in a very good mood. I'm sipping on my Turbador, vanilla cappuccino. It's beautiful. I love it. Bought it online at Takealot. Anyway, let me get into it. So the Daily Mail are reporting that Tottenham are set to enter the race for Brentford forward Said Benrahma. So apparently he's been doing quite well in the championship for Brentford, and they were very close to being promoted, but they lost to Fulham in the playoff final. So that's very sad for Thomas Frank's Brentford side, and they're willing to cash in on their prized assets, said Benrahma, and Tottenham are said to be involved in that race. I mean, he's 24 years old, he's worth £16 million. I haven't seen much of Benrahma, if I'm being honest. I know that the papers have been going on raving about him for the past couple of weeks, but I've not actually paid attention to him, so I wouldn't be able to tell you what kind of player Tottenham are getting. But I think if Tottenham are willing to take a bit of a gamble and pay £16 million, 1-6 by the way, £16 million to get Benrahma in, let's see, maybe it could be a Lamela replacement if Lamela goes out the door. We're not too sure what's going to happen here, but I know Tottenham are set to enter that race, and let's see what Tottenham do going forward. Okay, moving on to Manchester City. So we've all seen from whichever paper you look at that they've confirmed the signings of Nathan Ake and Ferran Torres. Now, those deals have been in the pipeline for a long time. They've spent a combined £61 million for both players, and I'm not too sure if either of them come into this first 11 at all. I'm not too sure if either player starts. Nathan Ake has been a very impressive defender in the past couple of years. He's been quality. I don't think he's an improvement on what City have. He's a left-footed centre-back, which is Laporte. Laporte starts there. So is he going to play with Laporte? No. What does that basically mean? I think he's more providing competition for Laporte. And with that being said, I think that just makes more room for John Stones to leave, because now John Stones has now become fourth choice with the signing of Nathan Ake. So that leaves John Stones' future with a little bit of uncertainty. So we'll just keep an eye on what happens there. But City have confirmed the signings of Nathan Ake and Ferran Torres. Okay, so looking at Bournemouth, so they've added John Terry to their list of managerial candidates after Eddie Howe has left by mutual consent. John Terry is the assistant manager to Dean Smith of Aston Villa. So I think John Terry has had about 2 or 3 years experience under Dean Smith now, and Bournemouth are looking at him as their next managerial candidate. Now, I don't know if John Terry is the correct person for this role. I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. I don't think he's the man to take Bournemouth forward. I think because Bournemouth are in a very precarious position, because they've gone down and they've been relegated, but they need someone to bounce them straight back up. They need experience. I know Chris Hughton is also a top candidate for the job. I'd prefer to have Chris Hughton, because the reality is you need someone that's going to provide some stability in the championship, someone that has a pedigree of bringing clubs back into the Premier League and making them compete in the long term. I think Chris Hughton fits that role perfectly. We look at what he's done at Newcastle. We look at what he's done at Crystal Palace. We look at what he's done at Norwich, at Brighton. Those are his previous jobs. And we look at what Chris Hughton's done there at those clubs. I think he's a much more suitable candidate than what John Terry is right now. So the Daily Mail are reporting this. I think the Guardian are as well, and the Daily Mirror, but we'll just keep an eye on that and see where that goes. Okay, moving on to Merseyside. So Jamal Lewis of Norwich is desperate, apparently, to the Daily Mail. He is desperate to force a move through to Liverpool, and he's happy to serve as backup to Andy Robertson. But the champions are yet to meet their £20 million asking price. The Daily Mail are reporting the story, and there's rumours that obviously Jamal Lewis is very keen on coming to Liverpool, but Liverpool are valuing him at £8 million with £2 million in add-ons. So essentially, they value him at half of what Norwich are asking for. City have set a major precedence by signing Nathan Ake for £40 million, despite Bournemouth being relegated. So clubs that have been relegated, what's happening now is they're able to still sell their prized assets at really high prices because of what City have done now with the signing of Nathan Ake. And people are going to say, oh, but like, you're always blaming City. But it's true. They set the precedent because now Norwich are charging premium prices for their players, despite them actually being relegated. So now that makes the entire thing a lot more harder to sign players now. It makes the whole process so much more difficult because now clubs that have gone down are still charging premium prices for their players. So I don't know, but Jamal Lewis is a welcome addition to Liverpool. I hope that actually even goes through. I think it'll be a welcome addition to the squad. I think one place where we actually haven't had squad depth is especially at left back. So we have Andy Robertson, and then we've been playing James Milner in that position, and I just think that we need a proper left back to come in and fill in so we can shift Millie back into midfield. At right back, we're fine. We have Nico Williams backing up for Trent. So I think that's okay. But I think left back is a priority just to have backup. And Liverpool have identified Jamal Lewis. And like I said, the Daily Mail are reporting that story. Okay, so moving on to The Guardian. The Guardian are reporting that Arsenal's head of recruitment has left amid 55 planned redundancies. So the head of UK scouting and others in that department are also leaving. That Arsenal are saying that the job losses will allow investment in the team. Now, I'm not too sure what is the root cause of, the sacking of all these people. Is it the coronavirus pandemic? Is it Mesut Ozil's massive wage package? Or is it a combination of both? In my personal opinion, I think it's both. I think Mesut Ozil's wage combined with what's happening now with the coronavirus it's really affecting a lot of football clubs financially. And I think Mesut Ozil's wage package is like a major stumbling block when it comes to these sort of things, because it's now almost holding Arsenal hostage, where they're now even firing so many people. They've gotten rid of their head of recruitment. They've basically planned 55 people to leave the club. So it's actually madness at how Arsenal are just letting people go. I think they say that it's also going to be a contributing factor to the investment of the team. I mean, I'm not too sure about that. Like, how much could they possibly be saving? Honestly speaking, how much could Arsenal possibly be saving from getting rid of 55 to 56 people? Like what? 2 or 3 million quid? What are they actually saving? Like, I need to know some actual numbers before I can even make up an opinion on whether those people that are being sacked are even worth being sacking in the first place. So I need some concrete numbers here as to why they're being sacked. There are so many Arsenal players that could actually leave to free up some funds to invest into the Arsenal team. If I think about it, Mustafi could leave. There's actually 8 centre backs on Arsenal's books. Mustafi could leave. Mavropanos could leave. Just me personally, Kolasinac could leave too, but I think he's been at the club for about a year and a half, 2 years now. I think he needs one more chance. Let me see who else could leave. There's been rumours about Ainsley Maitland-Niles wanting to leave. Guendouzi could leave. There's just so many players that could leave Arsenal that could free up some funds, to sign the likes of Thomas Partey, Philippe Coutinho, and Willian, like they've all been reporting. Okay, so another story here by The Guardian. It's written by Jamie Jackson of The Guardian. He says here as his headline that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs more than Jadon Sancho to challenge for the big prizes. Tough one. Now, I don't know how I feel about this, if I'm being honest. Like, how do you guys feel? Do you think Jadon Sancho is all that Manchester United need to challenge the elite? So there's been rumours in the past couple of days that United have agreed personal terms with Jadon Sancho. They've agreed a 5-year deal with over £300,000 a week as his wage package. I don't know how I feel about Jadon coming into the team and transforming them into challenging the elite. I think that it will definitely help them to challenge. I just don't know if it'll take them to the title. I think... So basically, Jamie Jackson in his article talks about that Solskjaer needs defenders. He needs to buy defenders if he wants to challenge the elite. Buying defenders is one thing, but Jamie Jackson makes it seem as if like United's window is over after they buy Jadon Sancho. They could very well get Jadon Sancho and get one more centre back. I think one thing that we've been known to see with Manchester United is that this year they've been leaking goals left, right, and centre. They need someone to complement Harry Maguire. He can't do it on his own. Harry Maguire has been exposed for his lack of pace this year. I think he's a good defender all round. He's not that bad. He's solid in the air. He's an aerial threat. He can play. He's composed. He's just not fast. So I think having a reliable partner who's much quicker than him, just to cover him in times of, if he gets exposed or whatever the case is, that's what United need. And also a backup right back. A backup right back for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because we've seen how if he gets injured, it's quite a problem. So I think Jamie Jackson is right in saying that they need to buy defenders. I just don't think that's ultimately going to be the be all and end all of their summer window. I think Jadon Sancho will come to United. There's rumors about obviously Ed Woodward wanting to pull out of the deal because Dortmund are wanting too much. Well, fine, but we've seen notoriously in the past how Ed Woodward has threatened to pull the plug on certain signings just to try and drive the price down and make the club get desperate, and then he just goes back in. So we've seen that in the past too. So let's just keep an eye on that and see where that leads. Okay, so going back to Tottenham, Sergio Aurier is set to leave Tottenham according to the Daily Mirror as Jose Mourinho plans defensive shake-up. So Spurs have already lost Jan Vertonghen, who departed the club on a free transfer, with Kyle Walker-Peters expected to be next to follow him out the door. There were reports that Kyle Walker-Peters would be leaving to Southampton, and that'll be in exchange for when they get Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. So that's been a touted deal that's been rumored around Europe, but the Daily Mirror are reporting that Jose Mourinho is prepared to let Sergio Aurier leave as he plans to shake up his defense. This is by John Cross. He's the chief football writer at the Daily Mirror. I'm a big fan of John Cross. I'm a big fan of his work and what he says, so I think he's a very reliable source. And they're willing to offload Sergio Aurier to AC Milan and Monaco, who are both interested in him, and they are willing to pay £35 million to get Sergio Aurier out of Tottenham. So that's just how it is for now, guys. So welcome to the first edition of Halftime. It's going to be your daily show where I just talk about everything happening around Europe and what all the papers are saying every single day. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if you guys think this is cool. But I'll chat to you soon. This is your boy Ryan. We'll have a good time, yeah? So expect me every single day. Expect me. See you soon.